I am only as evil as my worst sin, the chasms of my own depravity. I'm not convinced that anyone can be innocent in their purest light. To some extent, we are all marked. I was gifted with the task of endeavoring to understand true evil. I was also blessed with the ability to see in the dark, as if the horrors of dusk were roaming in broad daylight. If it is true that I'm only as evil as the worst of my deeds, then it must be indeed true that I am not the worst of common men. But the kind of malice that would make anyone else sick pales in comparison to the crooked beast of this world, the entity that I struck a deal with. It cost me everything, and even at this very moment, I can't decide if it was ever worth it after all. I have no regrets for anything I did, but I feel I must challenge the price, even if it cannot be taken back. There was no other way. I had to know. The blood had to be spilled. The hunt never starts as a reprieve from boredom. My warpath was fueled by curiosity. What is a man driven to do when he knows he can evade justice? How far will he go when he is only held accountable to the God he disobeys? The kinds of malice that comes to mind are history's most notorious, most prolific serial killers, mass murderers, and bloodthirsty dictators. But while those mongers of death were impressive in their accomplishments, I yearn to understand the evil that lurks in everyone. The strain of hate that hides itself until there is no other recourse. It is primal, animalistic, an act of barbaricism. One could argue that when somebody is driven to such drastic lengths, they are devoid of emotion entirely. But when there's no going back, survival is only secured when the will to live entwines with absolute fury. Clive wasn't built for a world beyond strict morality, the things society deemed were right or wrong, black and white or ambiguous and gray. I live in the gray area. I've been there mentally all my life. I grew up watching the news and reading about man's atrocities on the internet, but he chose to find the morsels of goodness in the small things they did to uplift their communities. He was not gifted like I, but he found purpose even without a defined meaning. A part of me always admired him for it, but I disagreed with his worldview. I never bothered telling anyone about my natural ability to peer seamlessly through pitch darkness. I had already figured out from a young age that no one would believe me even if I had a way to demonstrate it. Then, as I grew a bit older, I pondered why I seemed to be the only one that had such a condition. It dawned on me that it must be because I've been given it as a gift. My eyes were a part of my quest for knowledge. The root